you are in for such a treat. We have actress and activist Bertila Damas breaking down acting for you. She is going to school you, so get your pens and your pads out because she's got some good information for you. It's going to help you. I know it will. Here we go. I was very impressed by older actors that I would hear on set talking about, I'm taking this class, I'm learning this. I started learning carpentry. Oh, I'm refurbishing fabrics and furniture.
I do that.
No, but I remember thinking, this is the most amazing group of people I've ever met. And so when I started meeting artists who did not know anything, I thought, that is a sin.
It's kind of weird, right?
It's
because
a sin.
As an actor, you should be interested in everything because you don't know. I mean, you hear all the time about actors like, like De Niro when he put on all that weight for Raging Bull, or he became like a boxer for Raging Bull. Daniel Day-Lewis in My Left Foot. If you don't have that curiosity or that interest or that knowledge, right, the information, then you're not going to be able to do it.
And the great thing in the time we're living in now is that we have access to the internet. I say this over and over and over again. As an actor, the internet is your friend to learn, to get information, to be able to access stuff from your home, you can do it from your phone. When we started out, we didn't have that. You had to go to the library, you physically had to go to the places you wanted to get information from. And a lot of times you couldn't travel across the country to get the information. So if you couldn't get it in the library, or you couldn't get it via newspaper, you didn't get it.
The internet is a really interesting thing. I do think that it is an amazing tool because you can do all the research, you can find out things, you can see things. But I also think there's a little trap, and I really just want to warn actors out there, don't compare yourself. I know that I'm like, oh my God, who got what? Really? You're going to fall into some trap because celebrity has become like a culture of its own. And I think a lot of young people are trying to emulate celebrity culture and actually missing out on their own culture sometimes, on what they're really about, on what their family's about, and what their life, their block, their neighborhood, their state, whatever, their community. Emulating celebrity culture and comparing ourselves is a big trap, and I think the internet lends itself to that. So I think be really careful, but definitely use the internet to research and read. Because you can read books and everything on the internet now.
Books are lovely.
Yeah.
So you mentioned comparisons. That you have to be very careful about comparing yourself to other actors through the internet.
Absolutely.
I would argue with you that it started way before the internet.
Yes.
Because as actors, we're always comparing ourselves to other people. Why did they get the job? I didn't get the job. So I understand that, but I do agree with you in that social media makes it more intense.
Yeah, I think that the issue is it's not so much like, look, you don't get a part, you're going to be maybe disappointed, or maybe not. Maybe you're happy you didn't get it because maybe you didn't really want it, because sometimes you have to deal with your own stuff about what you're doing as an actor. But that's one thing. What I'm talking about is comparing how they're doing something to how you're doing something. Like, oh, look, they put up more pictures. Oh, wow, they got more of this. Oh, wow, their whole thing is all like this. And my thing isn't that. I'm not good enough. They're better. That kind of thing. That's what I'm talking about. Or physical ideals. Like, God, she looks so beautiful. Not the competitive.
Fighting the demon.
But
because that's a demon to
compare yourself.
Not know what your worth is. First of all, you got to know what you sell. Because what I sell is different from what you sell. Right. And as an actor, if you are not sure of what it is that you sell, then anything becomes a distraction.
Yes and no. Okay, so I agree with you. First of all, I don't think that we're selling anything, although there are some sales kind of involved. But, when you don't have control of the product, and I am not the person personally speaking to the person who's buying the product, because I don't speak for myself, right? We have agents, we have managers, we have casting directors in between, then there's marketing people. So there are a lot of people making that decision. So it's not direct sales, okay? But you are putting out a product. Here's the product that I think you should be putting out. Some really good acting people. Like, do the work and put out some really good acting, because there aren't brands, okay? I mean, you could brand a show like this because this is a talk show. and you are the common sense mamita. Okay, that's great. That's a branding kind of thing. I don't agree that actors should brand themselves. I think that, you know what, if you saw my comedy reel and my drama reel, there is a point where you would not even believe that was the same person, only 3 months apart, doing the same role. I say brand yourself and promote yourself as an actor who knows how to act, who gives quality work.
With you.
And stop comparing yourself to what everybody else is doing, because that's their life, this is your life. That's what's important.
I agree. You have to be secure about what it is you bring to the room, which hopefully is your acting chops.
Absolutely.
Is that you know how to break down a script, that you know how to speak, that you know how to talk with other actors, that you are a good listener. I agree, you have to know all of that, but you also have to know what it is that you sell that nobody else sells. Like as a Latina, because you don't always have control of certain things, you're being cast in a certain way. You know, your agent is going to put you in a certain box. And if you don't want to be in that box, then you have to change how you want to be perceived. I don't try to fool myself thinking I could do all things for all people. You know, so I have to know, okay, I'm going to sell this. I sell urban. I don't sell Victorian. I sell a certain brand. I sell a certain essence.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that. Look, everybody gets typecast with ethnic groups.
Go for it.
Well, the thing is that, you know,
let it go.
I mean, this whole like urban thing, right? You know, that's been my challenge as well. You know, I don't come off as urban, but I can do urban. Trust me, I could do urban. Okay, that's not a problem. So I'm an actor that could do whatever I got to do. But the thing is that you're right. There's a machine out there that is going to label us. And, you know, yes, look, Lupe Ontiveros made a very successful career out of playing maids. And maybe she just knew that's what she sold, if you want to put it that way. And it went well for her. I'm sure Lupe had other talents. Yes, there's the machine and there are the typecasting issues. You know, with people of color, there's the urban issue because, you know, what they're really telling you when they're saying that you're not dark enough, not light enough, not this enough, is that you're just not ghetto enough, you're not urban enough, you're just not street enough for them. That's the deal. And we know that. We all know that, right? Because, you know, if you don't look like what their idea of the drug dealer on the corner is or the hooker down the street, you don't fit. Mm-hmm. And that becomes an issue for casting. But I think we're growing.
I hope so.
I think we're growing. So I get what you're saying. I don't disagree with that. I think you have to know, but I think that it can be different for every single audition.
Absolutely. But I think you have to know what the obstacles are so that you figure out a different way. So if you know they're only casting you this way, can you do your own content? Can you create, you know, your own show?
Today, that's the option, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a great option for young people. Create your own material. There are other people doing that. I just worked with this really great, incredible young woman who is now pretty much about to hit the ground running. I mean, she got herself a California agent representing her as a director and a writer. So she directed a little horror web series that I did that's awesome. Awesome. I loved that part.
What's it called?
It's called La Quinceañera, and it was really, really great. The Sweet 15s, right? Her group, they're a writer, a director, a producer, and a cinematographer. It was a little group. And they have worked so diligently on their short films, and this is a genre that she really likes, that's what she goes for. And it's opened the roads for her because she said, I'm going to do my own material, and I'm going to produce my own stuff, and she did, and she's gotten a lot of acclaim for it. So she's going to do well.
And I think that's how you fight typecasting.
Yeah.
You know, on some level, I think that you take control of your career and say, well, you know what, you see me that way, but I see myself this way, so I'm going to do this. Because when you're being hired, they would like to cast you in how they see you.
And that is how you're going to be cast, how they see you always.
You know? So
it's not going to change. So I don't disagree with you, Lydia. I mean, I think that it really doesn't matter. Look, you know, you want to be an actor, keep your eye on the ball, focus, do 10 times more work than you think that you're doing. Like, if you think you're doing a lot, do 10 times more because it takes a lot more. Whatever the trend is now, you know, my day, the trend was slipping, you know, photos under the door of casting directors and agents and hoping that they would call. Now it's whatever, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever social media you can to promote yourself. In the end, it's the quality of your work. Yeah, you're going to get typecast. Look, they typecast everybody. Look at Brad Pitt, typecast as a leading man forever. But he's not. He's actually a character actor. Mm-hmm. Do you know? And when you see him in his later career, you see, oh, the guy now gets to play the roles that he probably really wanted to play. So they are going to always cast you as they see you. So, you know, maybe it is the way you see yourself and what you've been selling. That's great.
Right.
Maybe not.
Right.
Because I see myself as someone who can play a huge and wide variety of roles. And that's not happening. Although maybe I can't say that. Like if you look at my reels,
well, but you have
go,
you
okay.
have a more diverse reel than a lot of Latinas.
I do sometimes.
No,
you know.
but
There's a lot of crying.
Because of your chops, we go back to the skill set.
You gotta have
because of the skill set, your range is much bigger and the roles are much wider for you.
Sometimes I don't think there's any rule. I don't think there's like one way to be. The only thing I always think is like, do your work, know your work, know what you're doing, you know. Because I don't know. I think that luck plays a tremendous role in what happens in your life, and in particular in this profession. And I think that it behooves everyone to remember that. Some people just get luckier.
Yeah, but you were prepared. Because sometimes, no, you came prepared. I've seen a lot of people get off the bus to be actors. I mean, we see it every season.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't change. You see so many people coming to Hollywood to try to make it, but it's the ones who are diligent, the ones who say, I'm here to win it, and the ones who are prepared. Because you can get people who come and they are lucky for that season. They get cast for that season, but they can't maintain it because they don't have the training.
That happens. That's absolutely true. So in the end, it really is all about do your job and do it well. And know how to do it well. And if you want to put yourself into a thing, like you say, well, you're urban and that's your thing, then go with that. Because like I said, I don't really think there are any rules. Mm-hmm. There's no logic. There's nothing, you know, happening. People write books, they do all kinds of things. I'm like, there really is no answer. It's whatever's going to inspire that person individually, and hopefully their commitment to providing a good work will make you last in this business too, you know, because they can count on you.
And I just want to add one more thing to that process. A lot of times you have young people, because this business is for the youth. So you'll get a lot of young actors that get off the bus and get work right away. But they don't have the training. So then when that particular job dries up, they can't recreate another job. They can't go into another job and last. Their career is not lasting because they just got signed because they were young.
But again, I'm going to go back to the same thing. Maybe they weren't trained and they didn't have the chops to sustain. Maybe they got trained. It makes no difference. You could have a series for 6 years or be in a massive major motion picture hit and nothing will happen. Literally afterwards. You'll be dead for 2 years. You know, you just got to be willing to ride this roller coaster. When it's going up and it feels good, yay. When you're going down and you don't know how hard it's going to land, that's it.
Yes.
That's it.
But you just brought in a piece that is important, to ride the roller coaster.
Ride it.
To stay committed when it goes down.
Just ride the wave, you know.
Thank you so much for joining us. And if you enjoyed what you heard or got some good information, please comment below and let us know what you think.